Hi, it's Mr. Shrum, and I'm going to walk through this course activity called the AIDS Epidemic and describe what it is that you should actually do for the presentation. But overall, the objective is to construct and present a scientific argument supporting or opposing the view that AIDS currently meets the definition of a pandemic. Acquired immunodeficiency syndrome, otherwise known as AIDS, is a syndrome caused by the human immunodeficiency virus, HIV. AIDS weakens the immune system, and this triggers infections in the body. The CDC named the disease in '82, and that same year, the CDC defined AIDS as a disease at least moderately predictive of a defect in cell-mediated immunity occurring in a person with no known cause or no known case for diminished resistance to that disease. At first, the cause of AIDS was unknown, but scientists later established the cause as the HIV virus. This virus destroys the immune cells that play a role in cell-mediated immunity. You can also call AIDS late-stage HIV or advanced HIV infection. During this stage, the virus completely takes over the immune system and destroys it, leaving the patient unable to fight infections. Right now, there is no cure for AIDS or HIV, but there is developing technology and drug treatment plans, and these improve the quality of life for people who are infected, and it will increase their life expectancy. So they're able to live longer and healthier lives despite living with HIV. In this activity, you will develop a presentation to provide evidence that supports or opposes the idea that AIDS still meets the definition of a pandemic. And here is the rubric. Make sure to list 4 questions to address, list 2 credible resources, 4 key pieces of evidence, develop some type of outline, locate 2 or 3 audio or visual resources, so videos or podcasts or snippets of information, create a slideshow presentation if required, delivered. No, we're not going to deliver this, but you're going to pretend that you are going to present this information. So you will use presentation software to create a presentation. And here's Microsoft. It gives you some tips for how to actually create a presentation. But let's go back. So we are trying to present information in support of or against the following statements. AIDS continues to be a global health crisis. AIDS still meets the definition of a pandemic. Your claims should be supported by scientifically complete evidence. Follow the steps provided to research, plan, and create a presentation. This guide about the research process can help. So if you click on this, choose a good topic. We already have our topic. You're going to find some background information, identify some key sources, and then you're going to take those sources and evaluate them. So we're checking to see if the information is relevant, reliable, and if you're using online sources, which most of us will be, only use sources that end in .edu or .gov at this point in time. .org sites can work as well. Check the reliability of the page. And you can do this by looking into authors' names and credentials. Is it biased? Is the site biased? Does it compare with information from other sources? And if a site has a lot of ads, you generally want to stay away from that. Um, you don't want to visit a site that's trying to sell you something and then promote that site in your research. And make sure the information is current. You want an updated site. If it's a very old site, that can bring up some problems, and it's probably not the most reliable information anymore. And of course, you want to cite sources correctly. EasyBib is a good way to get to learn how to do that. EasyBib. This will show you how to create EasyBib and create certain citations and check paper. So that's good. And then to actually create the presentation, you will go to, here, I'll go to this one. This is my advisory class, but I'll create a new presentation in Google Slides. And then you'll use this format, change the themes, add slides, and then fill these out in a certain order, like this is saying. And then follow part A through, I forgot which the last part. Does it go up to G? No, just F. Just part F. So part A, ask these questions. And then you want to come up with 4 additional questions about HIV/AIDS that could help strengthen your argument in the presentation. And here are some examples there. How close are we to finding a cure? Can current medical treatments prevent AIDS from developing completely? What's the difference in life expectancy? Are there other outside factors? Part B is about finding credible sources. And you want to use the sources that end in gov or .org, .edu, and avoid places with lots of advertisements. So who's the author? Is this person an expert in the field? What is the purpose of their research? Does the document state facts that scientists can prove with evidence? Are they just opinions? Is it an older document? Do other credible sources also support the statements in the document? So you want to see if information is lining up. Does it make sense the way it's stated, and does it agree with most other sources? So we want to write down 2 sources that you will use and then cite them using MLA format. And you can use EasyBib or follow this format right here. Author, last name, first name, book titled in italics, city of publication, publisher name, year published, medium of publication. And that just means, like, is it print? Is it electronic? Here are some examples. This is with one author. This is how to cite when there's more than one author. And then citing 2 or more works by the same author. Sometimes you'll run into a book that was originally written in another language and then had to be translated. So that would be an example of this. So you would have the author, book title, and then editor or translator afterwards. And that's all I think you really need to look at for now. 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, actually 9. If you're citing a website or an online article, 9 and 10 are good examples of that. So this is using citing a NASA website from 2015. Here's how to cite an online article, citing an online Wikipedia, citing an article from a website, citing an article from an online database. So be sure to go back to this section here and check out mostly 9 through 13. And that will be helpful for you guys. And then once you get those two sources, you want to take some notes and read. You want to do some reading. And this may take some time, but you want to really get through the information and retain the most important parts of it. So afterwards, it may look like this when you're taking notes about a certain article. Make sure you understand key terms and explain things to yourself, because if you're presenting this, then you want to be able to explain it to others as well. Here are some examples of notes that they took. Now we identified sources, we read through them, tried to understand the key points of those texts. And now we're going to organize the information we pulled from those sources. And a good way to style this is the 5-paragraph essay style, where you got your introduction, you hook them in with something, you establish a topic, and you present your thesis statement, and then you go into your body paragraphs, and these will focus on certain points. So paragraph 2, that will be your strongest supporting argument. 3, a good supporting argument. And then paragraph 4, that will discuss and expand your third supporting argument with evidence or details to back it up. And then conclusion, you get your main idea in there, and then summarize, a good summary. And you really want to hammer in your conclusion. You don't want to bring any new information necessarily. You just want to wrap it into the main idea, summarize, and conclude. And here is a sample outline for the HIV. You can do an introduction to HIV. What causes it? What are some of the symptoms? How does it occur? Effects on the body. How does it develop into AIDS? And then here's your body paragraphs. Current global status. Global concerns. Is AIDS considered a pandemic? And then references. Part E is about looking for audio and video sources. You want to take these tips into consideration. You don't want a ton of text on any one slide. You don't want to overwhelm the viewers with a bunch of words, okay? Pictures instead of words are generally preferred, and then you will speak, right? So presentations are both visual and audio. So you can have pictures on the screen and some statistics or words, and then you as the speaker will add in and fill in extra information as you talk. And this is where you can put in your speaker's notes. So in Google Slides, You can have this presenting, and then you'll have information you want to talk about down here. And that will help you along when you're delivering a presentation to an audience. You must complete your speaker's notes to get full credit for the assignment. So you want to list 2 or 3 audio, video, or photo resources. So here's an example of a picture. You can just paste the picture in there. And these are good examples of what you may put in the presentation. And then part F is the last step here. And you just want to take this outline and then put it in a Google Slides presentation. So you'll have opening slide, the intro, body paragraph, body paragraph, body paragraph, conclusion, and then you may have like 2 or 3 slides per intro and body paragraph and conclusion. So here's a few ways you may answer the key questions. What's the definition of a pandemic? How does a pandemic differ from an endemic or epidemic? So epidemic refers to a widespread infectious disease in a particular region at a particular time. Endemic means that the disease appears regularly among a certain population or a particular region. It also means that the disease is native to a certain region. So those are more regional, while pandemics are global and wider geographically. So anything widespread is considered pandemic. Anything more regional will be endemic or epidemic. How does HIV affect the body? The virus attacks immune cells, and that makes people more susceptible to other infections. How do people become infected? Well, it spreads through direct contact with body fluids. That could be during sexual activity, blood transfusions, or if infected body fluid enters through a cut or sore on the body. Infected pregnant women can pass it on to their fetuses in utero, but it's not transmitted casually. Like you can't hug or share something with a person and then just get HIV. That's not how it works. This is how it develops into a full-blown HIV infection. What are the current infection rates? There are currently about 36.7 million people living with HIV worldwide. Sub-Saharan Africa has the highest density of cases. 1 in every 25 adults lives with HIV there. And then this is the life cycle. And how does its genetic code change? That's a good infograph. What current treatments are available for HIV/AIDS? What are the current side effects? Do some regions of the world have better access to treatments than others? What's the average life expectancy for someone with HIV? Does this differ around the globe? Does HIV/AIDS still meet the definition of a pandemic? Why? All right. So these are some of the answers you will find, but you need to tell me where you found the information, what sources. As long as you show me the sources and you send me a Google slide um, assignment, email me, send it to me in Canvas. I believe you can send Google Slides in Canvas, but just email me. That'll be easy. And if you have any more questions, send them to me in Canvas or email me, and I will explain this further. But I hope that was enough. And I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.